Welcome to my basement, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a terrific weekend and had a lot of fun out there. I see some good people in the chat already. I've got Mike Williams and Hip Hop Dan, Zhang Fei 500, Crispy Rambo. That's a new one. I like the. I got the what is it? The devil horns. Is that right? That's awesome. Jeremy Turner is here. Taz is here. Hola, peeps. The E-Peeps. I like that very much. I had a lot of fun playing next-gen video games over the weekend. A lot of Spider-Man. Did some streaming of Spider-Man. Did some streaming of Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War, which I'm going to review for you in this episode. We've also got a very cool contest that we're going to tell you guys about, and you're going to be the first people to hear about it. And so make sure you enter this cool contest. It's thank you to a partnership with Nintendo Canada, which we're very excited about. All right, we've got Rathless in here saying, give the man your likes. Yes, I like that. You can also feel free to subscribe to the channel, and you can also feel free to share this with whoever you want. Pathetic Earthling is here. Great to see you. Goku. Jack Smith is here. Richter133. Vic has a deal with the devil. He doesn't age. Been watching him for years. Looks the same. Thank you very much. You're my favorite. You're awesome. Listen, we've got lots of content to get into. We're also going to be playing a little bit of Sniper Elite 4. Why don't we get started right now with the rundown? All right, our first story today is about games that make you happy and how video games can actually help with that. We have a story that actually came to me through CNN. My buddy Christopher Bennett texted me this morning. He said, check this out, man. This is really cool. Andrew Przybisky, who is the director of research at the Oxford Internet Institute, did a whole study and talked with a bunch of people and basically gauged how happy they were when they were playing video games like Animal Crossing New Horizons, and they also played the Plants vs. Zombie Welcome to the Neighborville, the latest Plants vs. Zombie first-person shooter experience. And the study basically is talking about how video games can improve your mental health and make you happier, which is not something that's really news to any of us out there, correct? We all know that video games can be a great relaxant and a great way to kind of escape a lot of the realities of the real world. And there's been a lot of dark stuff this year for sure. And so, I think Animal Crossing sort of comes to the forefront all the time because it's so cutesy and accessible and adorable and addictive as heck. And it's wonderful. But you know what? The Plants vs. Zombie game was also really, really charming. That was a game, I think it came out earlier this year. Man, this year has just been a blur, right? It's been long and lots of stuff has happened, and I can't even remember the dates. I think this came out earlier this year. We had the game makers from Electronic Arts. It was made here in Vancouver. We had them on the show, and they showed us a little bit of, or they talked to us a little bit about how they made this game. It's it's a huge game, and it was super fun. But I'm, just pleased that studies are out there right now kind of reinforcing what we already know. We as game players, it's not like it's just all about escapism. It's about entertainment and stimulation and sort of checking in with our imagination and making us feel like we can jump into these different worlds for a minute, and be super heroic and have these abilities. And, clearly, cutesy games, I think, probably have a better handle on accessing those joy-filled sort of moments for us. But I think there's also value in digging deep into games that affect you emotionally, maybe in the not so joyous way, but they allow you to kind of expel a lot of stuff, whether it's tension or fear or sorrow, like with The Last of Us Part 2, which is something I bring up. But yeah, video games are incredibly emotionally impactful. I've known that, for most of my adult life. That's what I sold Electric Playground on back in 95, as a matter of fact. I had lots of conversations with broadcasters, and I kind of told them that people accessed emotions along with their memories of video games and the way that they talked about video games, just like any other art form out there. Louis Arias says, Last of Us 2 was soothing to play. Oh, wait, man, never mind. Yeah, that was not soothing. And it was dire and heavy in a time of a pandemic, dealing with subject matter, which was about an infection that spread around the earth. It was heavy, but there was something incredibly cathartic about playing that game, especially because it was so artfully crafted. That's the way I felt, and I know not everybody else feels that way. Another story that's going around the internet right now pertains to the PlayStation 5. Haven't heard this too much about the Xbox Series X right now. I had a couple of hard crashes over the weekend, which was quite shocking with the PlayStation 5 because it feels so premium. It feels like such a luxurious piece of equipment. I like the aesthetic of the machine. I think it looks cool. It's massive, but it's a statement, and it's sitting up there right beside my television set, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it, but it also, you want it to feel like it's going to be around and not have any issues, and to have two hard crashes happen as you were playing the game. I was playing Spider-Man and I was playing Call of Duty. It was pretty shocking, and I've seen reports. I saw that people on the internet or people on YouTube have been putting videos together. Review Tech USA, I watched his video with JKB talking about the fact that he had to send his PlayStation 5 back to Sony to get repaired. And then I saw something in Tom's guide as well. And a big part of what people are saying around the PlayStation 5 is don't use the rest mode. Some of the crashes that have happened so far have had to do with data management, but I think most owners of PlayStation 5s right now are past that. But I think there are probably a lot of PS5 players out there, like myself, who have just been putting their machine into rest mode, like we have for our PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pluses for a long time. PS4 Pro, for a long time. And apparently there are some issues coming into rest mode. And I noticed a little bit too when there's a lot of games right now that are always connected to the internet. And so when you go into rest mode, it obviously disconnects from the servers associated with those games. And I think there might be some internet hiccups associated with rest mode and stuff. It felt a little clunky, and I did have a couple of hard crashes where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't tap on the PlayStation button on my PS5 controller and get out of it. I had to hold the button down for like 20 seconds before it was finally able to kind of close all the way down, and I had to boot it all the way back up again, which doesn't take very long because it's running off an SSD, and the machine is very fast. And I have to tell you that overall, I've been extraordinarily happy playing on the PS5. It feels so. It's next gen. It just feels like a major leap forward. Visuals and the DualSense controller is just wonderful. I was really, really addicted to playing it and completely lost in it. I had to kind of like extract myself from the television set and go out for a walk with my family and force myself to get away from it. It's so addictive and compelling, particularly when we're all encouraged to stay at home, to have a device like this or the Xbox Series X, which is like, stay home. It's like a blast telling you to just stay around the hearth of your television set and keep playing these games. And I was so entertained by both of the Spider-Man games over the weekend. Even though I've reviewed Miles Morales already, I've talked about it. I'm playing it from scratch, playing all the way through it. Same with the Spider-Man remastered game, the 2018 Spider-Man game that Insomniac has remastered for PS5. I justified replaying that by streaming it for hours on the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me on that. Thank you for joining me on the Call of Duty stream as well yesterday. We're going to talk about that in a second. But if you do have a PS5, I would suggest, and I've started to do this too, don't put it into rest mode. Shut it all the way down and then start it all the way up. So quit the games that you're playing and... You know that Sony is going to update everything, so it's going to all run a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. And so far, the machine has given me no indication that it's flimsy or it's plagued with bugs or it's plagued with issues. I think it's going to be just fine. And gaming on it so far has been a real joy. I just see that Zhang Fei has become a new member. thank you so much. Thanks for joining the E-Peeps, the EPN posse. That's awesome. Mike Williams has got a question for me. Trapped on a desert island, bring one console in its current state. Go. Well, that's easy. It's the Nintendo Switch. Especially if I can get online and play all the NES and SNES games that you can get through the Nintendo Switch online service. But I love the platform. It's a console on the go, and my favorite video game of all time, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, is on that machine. And you can play Mario Kart 8 until the end of time. So that would be the one that I would choose. I love it. Okay, let's move on to our third story, which is a very, very happy one. Over the weekend, Steve Spawn tweeted out, and we found out that at GlitchCon, Twitch donated $1 million to the charity that Steve works for, Able Gamers, and it was just a really cool moment. Dr. Lupo, don't ask me who he is. I know he's a huge streamer, but I don't really follow the streamers. But he got on Twitch, and on behalf of the organization, they donated $1 million, and that is just a really cool thing. Now, Able Gamers is an amazing organization that helps people with any physical, disabilities or any sort of stumbles for being able to, or any impedance for being able to play video games, to help them do that, which is really cool. And of course, they work with video game companies to help with adaptive controllers and stuff, and accessibility in the menus and the front ends of games. And we're seeing a lot more of that because video games are important for everybody on this planet. They are incredibly inclusive and incredibly valuable. And to see news like that, and Steve, who I've never talked with, I've only ever interacted with him a couple times over Twitter, but to see the statement that this is going to impact thousands of lives, and how emotional he got in the moment, was really, really inspiring. So kudos to the good folks at Twitch for doing that. I think that is phenomenal. And, if you have the means and you want to support a very cool charity organization, you should check out Able Gamers. They have a YouTube channel, and they've got their own, their own website and all that stuff. Dig into them a little bit, but very incredible work. And, that's just heartwarming to hear news like that. All right, so that's going to do it for our rundown. Let us talk a little bit now about the brand new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I played on the PlayStation 5. I actually finished it on the stream last night, the campaign. And we're going to start with the campaign. Basically, Call of Duty games really have boiled down to 3 different games, 4 if you include the links to Warzone, which you can get to directly from the front end of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The campaign is, kind of scattershot, like this footage that I'm showing you right now from the trailer sort of suggests. Ronald Reagan is a player in the game, and you are part of an elite Black Ops force that has to go on a bunch of different missions and take out terrorists, and it's scattered through time. There's a lot of flashback sequences. It kind of has that Atomic Blonde Americans kind of shine and polish over it, that sort of 80s espionage kind of thing. We're reminded of Munich, the Steven Spielberg movie, which I know was set in the 70s. But it's kind of lo-fi high-tech stuff. And you go on chase missions, and you've got to interrogate people. My favorite mission in the game was a very slow-paced one, very methodical, where you played a double agent, a Soviet kind of spy that's inside of the KGB headquarters, and you've got a bunch of different choices in how you're going to go and get this key card and get it back to the Black Ops team led by Adler, who's got Robert Redford's hair right there. And it was kind of, it was tense. It was nail-biting because you know that the other colleagues in the KGB knew that you were the mole, and you had all of these different options and computers to hack and stuff, but it was very slow-paced, and you weren't pulling out a gun and blasting at everything until obviously what happens, the payout in all the Call of Duty games is that there is just this incredible, over-the-top, crazy action beat that definitely has to happen. It always happens. They're like Michael Bay on steroids. All the campaigns are like that. They serve as a way to kind of showcase some of the mechanics and some of the stuff that you're going to play when you jump into multiplayer, especially, and a little bit into the zombies mode. I thought it was it was definitely artfully made and beautiful. The visuals were staggering at times. And I said on the stream last night that it felt, I was actually waiting for a cutscene kind of to wrap up. Before I realized that, no, it's not a cutscene. This is, real-time gameplay, and I just need to start moving around inside of the world. And it's moments like that where it's kind of clear to you that we've entered another era in gaming, especially console gaming. I know PC gamers have been able to, max their features and max the sort of output and visuals of their games for a long time. So they've been able to see first-person shooters that just look extraordinary. But it was really, really cool to see all systems kind of firing on the PlayStation 5. The ray tracing and reflections just looked incredible in this. The facial animations. We would go from these pre-rendered cut sequences into gameplay, and it was just so smooth and so slick, but also very predictable and very routine and somewhat, the sort of the MO of the Black Ops games is that we're jumping into the minds and we're bouncing around into the psyches of these different characters all the way throughout these experiences. And they are supposed to be, setting up loose threads and lots of questions that you have. And it feels like your mind is being kind of scrambled a little bit as you're playing through the experience, not just by the over-the-top action, but also by some of the narrative and some of the storytelling that they put in. I find the Black Ops stories can be crazy fun, but also overindulgent and a little tedious because, we're blasting from one, sequence where we're getting all of the mission sort of breakdown and all the data points and all that stuff and lots of sort of narrative and expository dialogue. And then we're jumping into these crazy action sequences. And it doesn't feel quite as smooth and organic as we've seen in the, like a BioShock or something like that, or a Fallout type of experience where the storytelling just feels a little bit more, or The Last of Us or Uncharted or something like that, where it just feels to flow much more from the moment-to-moment play. These are kind of like episodes, each one of these missions that we go on. And they're made deliberately like that, but I think that there was a little bit more of elegance with the 2019 Modern Warfare reboot that Infinity Ward made last year than Treyarch's Black Ops here, Black Ops Cold War. Not just in, like if I compare them visually, I also kind of like the visual fidelity and the kind of aesthetic of last year's Modern Warfare. It just felt much more kind of real and tangible than this does. I don't get me wrong, I dig the insanity, but it just got a little exhausting, as these games kind of tend to do. And I came away kind of disappointed. I was not really happy with the way that the game wrapped up as we were playing it last night, and it felt like a lot of people on the chat were feeling like it was anticlimactic and a little bit silly, because certainly they always tap into like things like Manchurian Candidate or Winter Soldier, or Jason Bourne, where minds are being manipulated, and there's definitely a little bit of that in this game as well. But I will say that KGB sequence, as it pertains to campaign modes in Call of Duty, suggests a really unique future for this franchise. If they can dip into that and kind of Deus Ex a Call of Duty experience for us down the road, I would be all in for that, where you have multiple choices and multiple directions. That's not what we got this time. What we got this time is we get to play as a bunch of different characters, and we get to have all of these crazy action beats. And, we're in vehicles and we're blasting from out of vehicles. We've got cool little gadgets. We do some spy stuff. But apart from that KGB sequence, it was all kind of similar and it all kind of blurred. So I kind of left the campaign going, okay, well, yeah, I would probably just give the campaign like a 6 out of 10. But that's not the story with Call of Duty, because, of course, we've also got this crazy zombies mode in here, again, kind of taking that Atomic Blade kind of vibe as well, or Atomic Blonde kind of vibe as well. And thank you, Goku. You are amazing. Look at that. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I like this mode as well. Of course, there's some narrative here. It sort of sets up everything. It sets up that there are Nazi tests on soldiers, turning them into zombies, and we're running through like a Nazi missile bunker or something like that, and we've got all of these different creatures coming out at us, and it kind of projects it as like this hell spawn that is zipping in through these interdimensional demonic portals and stuff like that. And it's fun. And it's super accessible, but again, it's also very familiar. The thing that, obviously is true with this iteration of the game on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X is that the fidelity has just been, cranked, and the zombies have never looked better. Like, you can see little bits and pieces of their bodies. There's like holes in these creatures, and you could just feel the gelatinous goo that's dripping off of them, and there's like these green sort of nuclear pussy monsters that explode and stuff. And of course, you get all kinds of awesome weaponry that you're constantly upgrading, and lots of arcadey type power-ups. This is meant to be obviously a group challenge, because you're trying to survive level after level and wave after wave of these zombies, and they get much more difficult and harder to take down, even if you've got pretty powerful weapons, and you're constantly trying to keep each other alive. It's a tried and true formula. It doesn't really deviate all that much. There are a bunch of different modes, and I truthfully, I didn't have time to check out every single mode of zombie and every different kind of style. I just played a good 16 levels of the game before our team got wiped out. But I was having a good time. It was a familiar time, but I was having a good time, and it was, clearly done with a lot of love and a lot of polish. And I think fans of zombies, and it's kind of true with this franchise. There's like three types of first-person shooter fans come to Call of Duty. There's some people that only play zombies, and they're excellent at it. There's some people that only play the campaign. They check in. They might try some of the multiplayer stuff for a bit, and then they move on to the next, which is probably the camp that I fall into more because of the nature of my job. And then there's a lot of hardcore players out there that just play the multiplayer mode, which I think is the meat and potatoes of the game. And I leveled up to, I don't know, like 10 or 11, so I've got a long way to go in multiplayer. I played some of the beta as well and had a great time with that. The mechanics are tight. The environments are very, very, well defined, and I just felt like I could zip into and out of buildings and obstructions, and I jumped into a chopper. I was parachuting down. jumped onto a motorcycle. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous multiplayer game. And it runs beautifully on PlayStation 5. I didn't have any network issues or laggy issues or anything like that. It was just so slick and so smooth and super violent and addictive, and it was hard to kind of walk away. And I was busy, putting all the stuff together for this episode today, so I didn't really have time to jump back in this morning, although I really wanted to. And I think I will go back to the multiplayer. I was kind of feeling like after I beat the campaign that, there was going to be a finite number of days that the massive file of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was going to live on my PlayStation 5 hard drive, especially because it's not that large, as we all know. But the multiplayer is where all of the effort, I think, clearly was put into this game. It's big, it's massive. It kind of borrows a little bit from the Battle Royale type of aesthetic. There's this dirty bomb mode where everybody's racing to kind of set off bombs, and we're broken up into a bunch of little teams, and you see everybody running around, and it's chaotic and it's addictive, and it's gorgeous, as you can tell. I mean, like, there's all of these awesome new maps that we've got for Call of Duty multiplayer, and honestly, it's not stuff that maybe is filled with uniqueness because we have a new Call of Duty experience every year, but it's hard to refute that this is crazy fun. And the one thing that you can say about multiplayer in Call of Duty is because of that constant production pipeline that Activision has with this franchise, the tuning is always evident, and you just feel it. And every year it's like, oh, yes, that's why this game sells so many copies. It's very slick, it's very clean, and it's very fun. When you take it all in, you take in the whole package, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is it kind of inspires you a little bit. It kind of sort of it justifies itself. It justifies its purchase price. Now, I did play it on the Xbox Series X for a bit, and I did play it on the. I finished it on the PlayStation 5. Most of my experience has been PlayStation 5. I played a bit on the PS4 Pro for the beta. I preferred playing it on the PlayStation 5, and that's purely because of the excellent DualSense controller. You can feel it, like every gun feels a little bit different, and I kind of made the analogy last night when I was playing on the stream that it feels a little bit like the toy machine guns that you can pick up in stores. You know, you pick them up and they kind of shake and rattle a little bit. You get a little bit of that sense when you're playing the game, which is impressive because it's like the game developers did all of this stuff, and then with Sony's new gadget, they've given you a little bit of a toy interface as well. Not to reduce the technology of the DualSense, but it's amazing, you know, because you feel like you're physically integrated a little bit more, which is really cool. And the guns feel different, you know. They have different mechanics inside of the DualSense. All of the motor sort of sense elements of playing around with the controller feel a little bit different when you go from gun to gun, which is really cool. So, you know, I came away entertained. I think that the total package is definitely worth paying attention to. I don't have to justify any of this to any lifers out there that pick up Call of Duty every year, no matter what. I think this is more for people that are kind of on the fence thinking, you know, should I jump back in for a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X experience? Does it really feel like a next-gen kind of Call of Duty game? I think it does. And the other thing that I've heard, but I can't test out yet because I don't have 120 frames per second television set, is that you can knock it down to 1080p and run it at 120 frames per second. I think, but I can't say that definitively, which is pretty damn impressive on a console. And if that isn't available yet, it likely will be patched because I think that's a part of Warzone, and I think that's a part of the PS4 and Xbox One versions of last year's Modern Warfare. So clearly that's going to be a part of next-gen console Call of Duty experiences from Activision, which is pretty impressive. So I don't love this Call of Duty game. I don't like it as much as the experience that I had last year with Modern Warfare, but it's pretty hard to refute. I'm going to give Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War an 8 out of 10. All right, so I spoke a lot. It's hard to be fluid and see all of these things popping up. I see Jack Clearman. I see your super chat. Thank you so much. I love your content. Do you and Johnny have any videos planned together for the next-gen consoles? I was just talking with Johnny because he posted his video of the PlayStation 5 unboxing and his thoughts, and I think he's doing the same thing with the Xbox Series X. And we just said, what a crying shame it is that we can't get together and do this. I count on us getting together and doing something soon for sure. That's definitely the plan. We miss hanging out. We miss, making content together. But this has been a year of me learning how to do a lot of stuff on my own, which has been good. It's honestly been, I've felt good to be challenged this much. It's been super fun with that. And Johnny's had to focus on his health, and he has a new baby, there's been a lot going on this year. So we basically had to buckle down and just sort of focus on things that we're taking care of right now. But we are in touch like almost every week. And the one thing that we always say is that how crazy time has been slow, but also moving fast. And it's been almost a year since we've really hung out and built things together. And we definitely do intend on that changing in 2021. Good comment, good question. 4K 120 frames per second on a 1080p 60 hertz. Okay. That was from JTVJ. Looking forward to playing Sniper Elite on jailbroken Switch. Oh, scapegoat. Come on. Pay the game publishers and developers. Thank you, Mike Williams. I don't know if you were on the stream yesterday. Thank you for the nice comments on the review. Alpha Cat, thank you so much. That's awesome. And again, Goku, you rock, man. I can't believe that. Thank you. Is there anything revolutionary or original in the coding or the texturing? Not exactly. Mostly a franchise product rather than pushing the medium into new places. That was from JTVJ. Yeah, it's not. Cosmo Afterlife 71 says, Vic, you said a lot of love and a lot of polish as they were stacking up the dead bodies. Well, I mean, that's Call of Duty right there. Thanks for being one-on-one with us, Vic. We love the basement too. That's awesome, Evil One. Yeah, I mean, I love all of this this back and forth conversation that we can have through this. I mean, you guys are basically, I mean, we make this show together, right? It's fantastic. I wish that I could review and keep my thoughts together and click on the footage and also have a conversation at the same time, but I couldn't even do that when I had other people helping me with all that. It's a lot to just kind of keep a flow going, but this is what this is all for. CJR is here. How you doing? Loving the format. Production value has been awesome for a one-man operation. Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much. Wilden, I'm really enjoying the PS5. I've been careful not to put anything into rest mode. I think that is the secret, right? You want to shut it all the way down and then boot it all the way back up. But I have really been enjoying the PS5, just like I enjoyed the hell out of my sort of intense playtime with the Xbox Series X. I've really focused on the PS5 because I just got it on, like everybody else, on Thursday. And thank you to Sony for sending out the console, by the way. It's really kind and generous, and it will help me in digging into these titles and talking about all of this stuff. They sent me out Sackboy and Demon's Souls and the Spider-Man games to review as well, and stream. And so I'm trying to dig into all of this stuff, and I felt like the Vic's Basement Live format is allowing me to get to a lot of content quickly. And so I'm playing and staying up too late and streaming and then coming back, and we're doing a little bit of this stuff, which has been really fun. But you know what? I've dug into a lot of next-gen content. I've gotten through a lot of the games. There's still a bunch I've got to get going on. I mean, I'm going to be playing Sackboy and Godfall, and I've played a lot of Astro's Playroom, but everybody gets that game, so I don't know how much that kind of needs a review, but it's freaking incredible. It's an amazing, it may be the best demo ever packed in with a console. Not the best game. Somebody pointed out Super Mario World with the Super Nintendo. That trumps that. But Astro's Playroom is pretty phenomenal, and it's an amazing way to kind of show off what the DualSense is capable of. And I'm really happy to see that at least at launch, there's a bunch of titles that are taking advantage of the DualSense in some pretty innovative ways, and you're constantly being reminded that it's unique. It's a fresh feeling controller. They really nailed that with that thing. Hey, Vic, does Spider-Man Miles Morales run well on PS4 Pro? It sure does. It ran great. I mean, I thought I didn't have any problems with the 2018 Spider-Man running on PS4 Pro, and Miles runs beautifully. Insomniac wasn't going to rip anybody off, no matter where they're playing that game. I haven't tried it on a like the original PlayStation 4 model, but I would imagine it runs quite well there too. It's just an exceptional game, and on my second play of it, that's reinforced. It's beautiful. The storytelling is incredible. It's it's an important game in 2020 as well. It makes a statement, but it's a necessary one, and it's a statement about love and inclusion and representation, and it's. But it, beyond all that, it's just freaking beautiful. It's just so fun to play, and it's about family, and it's about the like Peter needs Miles just as much as Miles needs Peter, and I love all that, and so I'm super fired up for what it means for storytelling in games. Again, it's like a little bit of lightness in this kind of dark year as well. I think that Miles is bringing a lot of joy to a lot of people out there, and what a phenomenal character, So I've said a lot of that already before, but yeah, it's a wonderful game, great launch title. Andre Gordon, Vic, you still remain my fave video game journalist. Your reviews are the gold standard for me for 20 plus years. That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Dexter, the adorable French ton. Hey, Vic, thank you from one Gen X to another. Your review shows from the 90s and 2000s, and now you're like a warm blanket for this 46-year-old. That's awesome. That's very cool. That is awesome. You know what I love hearing is, obviously, I love hearing from anybody that's been watching for a long time, but I also love hearing from people that have now started to bring in their kids and they kind of watch as a family. Because I think the other side of that was a lot of you were probably kids when you first, just like I was, when EP first started, and you were bringing in your parents to watch, and you would, I would meet parents, and their parents would push their kid out. He's a big fan of you. He wants to come and say hello, and it was always incredible. And then the kid would say, "Well, I got my dad to watch, or I got my mom to watch," and yeah, man, I didn't know that I was going to get into people's lives like this with our shows. None of us did, and it's incredibly gratifying, and we're just glad you're here, and I'm going to keep rocking if you guys keep watching. All right, that's the deal we make together. Any word on a Spawn video game, Cosmo Afterlife 71? I want to have Todd McFarlane on Vic's Basement, and I want to make that happen. That would be a great question to ask him, right? You're playing for us guys that didn't get a hold of one of these new consoles, and I like seeing it played other than reading about it in game magazines and little clips on TV. Yeah, I think it's important to do the streams for sure. John O'Brother 3 is asking, what he hasn't yet. Somebody's asking, were you asking about a contest perhaps? What were you asking, John O'Brother 3? What were you guys asking there? I see the conversation between Audrey-on Leon and John O'Brother 3. Evil One, we are a family, the EPN fam. I love it. Winnipeg Gamer, oh my God, Todd McFarlane, yes. Yeah, I've had Todd on various versions of EP many times over the years. I visited him in Arizona, actually. He was in our pilot for Entertainment Tomorrow, which I've talked about before. And so, we know each other. He's very connected, though, and he deals with a lot of Hollywood people, and so I never assume that he remembers who I am, but we've connected at many conventions and many places over the years, and he's a good dude, and he's a very, very interesting conversation. Every time I talk with him, his insight is amazing, and he's a trailblazer. He's a rogue. I just dig chatting with him, so I want to have him on the podcast again very soon. Speaking of which, I just posted my conversation with Amy Hennig. It is an audio-only podcast. I've been busy. It's an audio-only podcast on Vic's Basement, so you can find it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Amazon. Or Stitcher, and you can hear my conversation with Amy Hennig, which we did at the External Development Summit a couple weeks ago. XDS allowed me to reuse a lot of those conversations as Vic's Basement convos for everyone, and she is, she's one of my heroes, man. She's amazing. And I've known her for a long time, so it was really cool to just have a nice hour sit down with her. I want to do another one, which is video and conversation, a little bit more free form. But I think you're going to love the combo that I did have with her from XDS. So when you have some time, when you got a nice hour to kind of sit back and relax and listen to that discussion with one of the creators of the Uncharted franchise and Jack and Daxter. I think her first game that she was a big designer on was Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. She worked on the... what were those games called? You guys know. Legacy of Kain. There it is. She was the writer on Legacy of Kain. And now she's running Skydance. So definitely listen to that convo. It's phenomenal. And I do want to have Todd in the basement. Sam, I am 111 for sure. Just wondering if I reviewed Demon Souls. Yes. No, I have not. So that's in the pipeline as well. I'll stream some of that separately as well. I think tonight I'm going to focus on Sackboy, and then tomorrow, so I'll have some thoughts on Sackboy in tomorrow's Vic's Basement, and then tomorrow I'll do Demon Souls. I was going to start on the buyer's guide stuff this week, but I think I'm going to push it a few more days and put some of those edited videos out next week, because I'm still getting a lot of codes. There's still a lot of new stuff that is is coming to me. I just got I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it. I got an awesome hot new VR thing that I got to jump on the Oculus Quest 2 to play. This baby right there. But right now, I want to tell you guys, Jordan Crowder, I'd love to work with Jason Hooft. He's a friend. He's a good dude. I'll reach out to him about that. That'd be cool. General Drew, Vic, I always used to love watching your E3 coverage in the early 2000s. Do you have a fondest memory of E3 from the time period that sticks out to you, like a specific reveal? Well, all of it is amazing. Going to E3 is... last couple have been a bit weird because the E3 has been kind of trying to find itself again, and there's been no offense to it opening up to the public. I've seen some of you guys from the public at E3, but it was weird to see the booths be so busy, but all the business kind of move away from the floor, and this kind of drive to commercialize E3, which I don't have a problem with. The Tokyo Game Show is kind of like that as well, but I almost wish that it was fairer to the attendees that were paying to go there, the public, and they had 2 days or something, and we had the press and the retail side of things had 2 days. But the other thing that I really would like to see with E3 is everybody at the convention center, because right now there's events that happen a week before. There's all these press conferences that happen before E3 starts, and so E3 really gets smeared across the city of LA, and it takes place over a week of time. And I don't know, man. I like the concentrated. You see everybody's hanging out together. I mean, and Xbox didn't have a booth inside of the conference. Sony didn't even attend this last couple of years. Well, we didn't have it this year, but they weren't going to attend. I kind of want to see it go back to the celebratory, we're all in this together kind of vibe. And I don't know if it is, especially now post-COVID. But I really missed that about it. And I did a video at the beginning of the year about what it means for Sony not to be at E3 and got some great commentary from across the industry. And I think we were all in agreement with that. But yeah, I mean, amazing social get-togethers and parties and connections. But the thing that always made me incredibly happy was that, we would shoot these giant group videos with the whole cast and crew of EP and Reviews on the Run all together, and we'd go back and forth on the things that we saw, and we would shoot those, out in front of the convention center or out in the front sort of lobby of the convention center. And as we were shooting them, we would also be waving and saying hello to millions of people that we know across the business as well. It's really a celebration, E3. It's for people that work in the business, it's really a way to kind of all get together and get on the same page, and it's almost like a reunion. It's almost like a high school reunion. It's really amazing. And for my team, when we had the whole team together, it was just a way for us to kind of celebrate our collaboration together, because if you guys remember, we had different teams in different cities, and we were all working hard to get content back to the mothership to build a show together, but we didn't have that many opportunities where we were all in the same place at the same time, and E3 really provided that. And I wanted to go back to that once we have the vaccines and it's healthy out there. I want us all to kind of, in the industry, to kind of recognize how special and precious that is, I think Comic-Con has persevered, even though the comic industry has changed a lot, and Comic-Con has really become a Hollywood show, and games as well. But the comic industry all descends and all takes part in the San Diego Comic-Con. And it's important that it does do that. It is the mecca for the comic industry. And I want E3 to regain its status as the mecca for the video game industry. But who knows, man? It's expensive. It's not run with the, the deft touch that it should be. And there's been too many people saying, no, I don't even want to do it. I'm going to go off and go do my own show, And I think it's really incumbent on the organizers of E3 to say, well, you really shouldn't. You should be here with all of us, So yeah, that was kind of sad to see all that stuff. But I've got tons. I mean, my first decision as a producer was to I actually had a choice. I was going to work with there was a local television production company that offered to have us come in and co-produce EP with them, but they wanted a commitment, a financial commitment from us that we were going to pay them to use their services and use their experience and their equipment, and then we would build it together and share in the success of the show. And it was, I understood the offer because this company that I was dealing with had a lot of experience, more experience than me, and the rest of the team that I was working with. We were all first-timers at building a show. But I said thanks, but no thanks. And I spent the money that I would have spent on that, and we went to the first E3. And it probably cost us about the same amount of money. And we shot at the first E3, met Tommy, went to the Sony launch party where Michael Jackson was mingling, and met George Lucas, and had insane moment after insane moment, and came back completely aware that this crazy dream that we had to build a show about video games was a good one, and it was worth pursuing. So yeah, E3 is integral. It's part of my history. It's part of EP's history, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I think it's important to the games industry. Mondo Blastos Zero says, Vic, why did things become to disperse out of E3 from one convention center? I think it's mostly it's a return on investment thing. It's very expensive. The convention center is a union organization, so it costs a lot of money to put these exhibits on, to pay for the exhibit space and to put on these massive displays. And as we've all seen, a lot of the amounts of games that these big publishers were able to craft in a year was starting to scale down, which meant that they didn't maybe need the floor space that they did in years past to put up tons of different blasts of information around each one of their games that were coming out. And what we saw was a lot of consolidation. A lot of these publishers would have smaller booths, but then they would put some of their game stations inside of the PlayStation booth or the Xbox booth. And I think it was a numbers thing. I think it was a cost thing. And we saw companies like EA say, well, let's put on EA Play a week before everything happens. It'll be like our own little expo, taking advantage of a lot of press and a lot of people that were already coming to LA for E3. And it's almost like there was a leak in the boat, and people started to look around and see, well, other people are doing this, other people are doing that, and so suddenly it started to disperse and spread out. But I think a lot of that could have been handled if there was more effort and work done from the organizers of E3 to kind of kumbaya and keep everybody together. I don't know what that is. I'm not sort of involved with the inner workings of it. But when I see somebody like Jeff Keighley, who is as connected or more as I am to people across the entire spectrum of the gaming industry, able to bring the leaders of PlayStation, Sony, and Nintendo up on stage to celebrate this medium, that says to me that there should also be a conference in North America that does the same thing and is very clearly about that. And it is a crying shame, and it will be and continue to be a crying shame if we can't do that again. And I wouldn't be surprised if out of some of this change and the ashes of some of this change, a new vision for what E3 is becomes apparent for people. And I also wouldn't be surprised if Keighley is a part of that. Am I going to review Age of Calamity? This is from Dry Bone Jones. Yes, I am. And that, my friend, brings us to something very cool. As you know, and as Nintendo knows, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for Nintendo Switch is my favorite game of all time. And they know how much I love that game. And so they reached out and they said, Vic, we've got this idea for a contest giveaway for one lucky Canadian that is maybe perhaps as big a fan of Zelda as you are. We're going to give them basically a loot chest of awesome things to celebrate the launch of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That includes a Pro Controller, a Zelda-themed Pro Controller, and a case and a notebook from Breath of the Wild, a Zelda puzzle, a Zelda wallet, a lanyard, some cool keychains, even some funky socks, some Legend of Zelda socks. And of course, you get a copy of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. It is for one person, so it's one grand prize. And the way that you can enter this contest is to go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/electric playground. Facebook.com/electric playground. Pretty easy to remember. I'm going to post this image and the way that you can win this prize there. And so please do enter. And we're going to announce the winner, I think, the day that the game launches. But the information on that will be there. Now, the one thing that I definitely want to say is that the game, this contest is only open to Canadians, and it's open to Canadians outside of Quebec. There are different rules for Quebec, so it's Canadians all across the country. Anywhere in the country, excluding Quebec. And Quebec, I'm very sorry that it's not happening there. I don't want it to be that way, but there's a bunch of rules and regulations that we just don't have the wherewithal to deal with on this particular contest. We will on a future contest, I promise. It's every other province in the country it's open to. And I'm sorry to our American viewers and our viewers from other parts of the world. Right now, we're just working with Nintendo Canada on this celebration of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which takes place 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild. So, of course, I want to jump into the extraordinary and beautiful combat and action of the game. And it's coming out very soon. And, of course, I'll have a review of the game for you guys as well. So, after I'm done with the show today, I'm going to go and post all of that stuff and the information and the way to enter to win the contest on facebook.com/electric playground. So there you go. Okay, we got some Windsor in the house. We got some Go Team Canada in the house. Getting Canadian citizenship right now, Hip Hop Dan. That's hilarious. Yeah, I apologize that we don't have global contests and things like that happening right now. We might in the future. We certainly work with everybody. The one thing that I definitely don't have a lot of time to do is to kind of do the outreach and say and propose things like that. But we will again. We've done contests for many years. This was one where Nintendo reached out to me and said, we can do that. And I said, yep, let's make that happen. Okay, well, speaking of Nintendo Switch, I have the Switch right here. I've got it plugged into, I think I can show this to you, the Stealth Dock again, which is proving to be very useful for production. So thank you, Genki, for sending that out. And we're going to jump into Sniper Elite right now. So I'll pop this game footage, and we're going to go split screen right there. Mike Williams says, I'll learn to love again. Painter is from Windsor, Ontario. I lived in Windsor. My family, a lot of my family lives in Windsor. And my mom was from there. I haven't been back in so long. I really would love to get back there. All right, let's play a little Sniper Elite 4. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. I've never played it. But I played the Zombie War 4 game on a couple of machines, PC and PlayStation 4, and I thought it was great. And it was based on this engine. And this is who makes this game? I think it's Rebellion that makes this game, correct? And clearly it's Rebellion. So clearly it's been super successful for a long time. They got up to number 4. And I don't know what happened, but I've never reviewed one of these Sniper Elite games. I think it's always been another team. But this is running on the Nintendo Switch, everybody. It comes out tomorrow on the Switch. It's been out on other platforms. I think it was even a PS Plus game on PlayStation not too long ago. Let's jump in. We're going to play normal. We're just going to go with the preset. And let's see how this looks in 1080p. Victor, my main man, what is going on? Orion's Angel, we are playing Sniper Elite 4 on Nintendo Switch right now. Looks like a great port on Switch. Pre-ordered my copy a few weeks back, TCF. There you go. Haven't played a Switch game in a while. It's been all Xbox and PlayStation 5 the last little while. It's been a lot of next-gen noise recently. Sam I am 111. Oh man, the sniper elite
1943.
X-ray bullet time is going to be interesting to see
world at
Vic's
war.
reaction.
A world in turmoil. We'd close the trap on Hitler's North Africa campaign. But what next? Churchill urged an Allied invasion of Italy. Called the Mediterranean the soft underbelly of the crocodile. The Americans took some convincing, but Winston won them over.
FDR and Winston Churchill right there.
General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Allied Commander-in-Chief,
This is 1080p.
masterminding
It's
the
like a
entire
baby's toy.
Mediterranean strategy. As for me, I'm headed for San Celini, a secluded island to Italy's southwest.
That's pretty slick. So I think this is like the Supremo edition. I don't know what the full title is, but it has all the DLC and
We've been
everything in
losing
it
ships
as well,
in the
I believe.
area. British
What's up, Skylar
intelligence
Denning?
thinks the Luftwaffe's presence on San Celini might explain why. The Royal Navy dispatched a captured Italian freighter.
It might
the
use gyro
Orchidia, to
controls.
investigate.
Sidestepper, I never
She was
use
equipped
them
with the
though.
very latest
And I
radio
don't think you guys want to
interception
get seasick.
equipment. The intelligence she gathered confirmed our worst fears. The Nazis have a new wonder weapon. Survivors from the destroyed ships have talked about a new kind of
I
missile.
think so too, Orion's Angel.
Radio controlled from the plane that
I
launched
think
them.
why
rockets
Nintendo's
can
been a
track our
little
ships
quiet
with
as of
lethal
late is to kind
accuracy.
of give, you know, space for the other guys to come out with their machines.
The Orchidia's
But I
job
think
was
they've
to
got
monitor
something cool up their
Luftwaffe
sleeve.
radio transmissions and
World's
find out what the
roughest
Germans
sports.
are up to.
Find out what the Germans are up to.
Oh, it might be allowed.
Even if that meant making the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, you guys tell me what the audio balance is like. Want me to turn it down, turn it up? Nintendo has something cooking. Is it loud?
Now we need to know what the Nazis are planning.
Turn it down.
and
Check,
how we
check.
can
Is that
stop
better?
them.
You should go into
A member of the Luftwaffe's
into
top
game
brass
VO
is on
acting,
the
Vic.
island.
Thank you, Routhless.
General Tobias Schmidt. It's no secret Hitler thinks highly of him. Schmidt would never let himself be taken alive.
Overpowers me better?
And he'd
Okay.
never betray his beloved Führer.
Thank you, Evil
But
One.
he might just be carrying some
Perfect.
information
Thank
we
you,
can
Nick.
use. My mission? Kill Schmidt. Kill all high-ranking officers.
My mission,
Get the hell out.
kill them all. I think that's the mission, right? Nazis, kill them all. I'm great, Vanilla Gorilla. Good to see you.
Need to make
How's
sure
everybody
those
doing
men
out there?
didn't
Where's
die in
everybody
vain.
piping in from? Let me know. Talk to me.
Need to find out all I can about
I've done
the
a lot
new
of talking
rocket.
this hour. Lots to talk about. Okay. This looks gorgeous. This makes me want to get back to Italy desperately. We were married in Italy, my wife and I, my beautiful wife and I, and we just watched the Chris Hemsworth video,
Reckon I can
or
take
the-
this fellow down without making a noise.
the video that Palm. Oh, crazy! Wow. So it's Mortal Kombat, this game. I don't know what her last name is. Palm made this French video with Simon Pegg in Venice, and it made us wistful because it's such a beautiful city, beautiful country. I spent my birthday there a couple of years ago. Tag the enemies and the glowing crane with the trigger. Okay, so we're tagging that. Where are the enemies? Oh, there's one. And there's one. You guys are going down. All right.
Ich will nach Hause.
Okay. Hold the rifle. Okay. Gotcha. And then, can I zoom in? Yes, I can. Here we
Holding
go.
my breath will steady my shot.
Sweet. Oh, that's pretty rad. Oh, man. Don't stand under the cannons. There's a safety tip for you. How do I crouch? How do I crouch? Crouch. Oh, I'm reloading. Okay. Can I crouch? We got some Calgarians. We got Philadelphia in the house. Salt Lake City. Miami. Amazing. Been watching you since Judgment Day. Atlanta, Georgia. Vanilla Gorilla. Fantastic. We're doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Cobden, Ontario. Halifax. Right on. If I kill Schmidt, you will have holy Schmidt. I love it. Piping in from California and Toronto and Victoria, Vancouver. In China, Floyd. Right on. That is awesome. Floyd, how do you say your last name there? Floyd Muppedziswa? Muppedziswa? That is incredible. Rocky Wise right here in Vancouver. Juan Francisco Vieso in Montreal. Juan, are you French Canadian descent, or are you from another part of the world, or is your heritage from another part of the world? Iowa, Ethan Jory, incredible. In Scarborough, this is amazing. The internet is pretty damn cool, guys. Okay, jump the gap. Oh, I'm on PlayStation and Xbox controls. So get up. Climb. Okay. Go across. Okay. Is it this? How do I... No. Okay.
The only way is up.
Bowmanville, Ontario. And Finland. Hari, good to see you. And Orlando. Oh, Connor Stevens, Cold War crashes. Yeah, I was talking about both PlayStation 5 crashes and Cold War in this episode. Fraser Valley's quarantined. Yeah. Oh, my God. Dark Ram 13. You got that right, bud. Okay, here we go. Let's get up here. VDAM boys, I've been playing PS5 for the last few days, but I just got it. I was playing Xbox Series X like crazy for like 2 weeks because I got that a little bit earlier. Okay, we're going to hold to search a corpse. They're both amazing machines. I think the DualSense is it's kind of like a choice maker, you know? If you have both machines and you want to play something that takes advantage of that controller, it may decide it for you. I've already, somebody's asked me to send a code, and I said, well, if the DualSense is employed in any kind of special way, I'd prefer it on PlayStation 5. But I'm happy to play the games on the Series X as well. The Series X controller is excellent, but the DualSense is just, it's super fresh, man. It's new. It's big, though. It's so weird to have a PlayStation controller that feels like appreciably larger than
I'm harder to see in foliage.
An Xbox game. Okay, so does he auto crouch? I mean, crouch, dude. What button is it? Do I have to go into the thing? What is it? Options. Crouch. Controls. Control layout. There it is, way at the bottom. Crouch. What is it? B. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I guess it's such an important function as a sniper that they put it on a like a prime button. Vic, PS5 or Xbox Series X, any pros or cons between them in your opinion? I'll do that in a separate video, and I'm still working my way through it. I've loved playing on both of them. They both feel supreme, you know? They just feel very special. Okay, where am I going here? Gotta find and kill. Okay, close the map. Okay, what am I doing? Bugbear's Finish. That's right. And they made the Wrecked game as well. Wreckfest. Vic, 2600 or in television? I'm a 2600 guy. Don't tell Tommy. I love the Atari 2600. Oh, that's one thing I didn't talk about in my Call of Duty review. Is one of my favorite things is that the Activision threw in a lot of classic Activision Atari 2600 games as arcade machines, and once you find them, you unlock them, and so you can play Pitfall and Chopper Command and Barnstorming and Grand Prix as separate interactive experiences, very Yakuza-like. That's also a wonderful thing about Yakuza Like a Dragon in any Yakuza game, is that you can find all of these awesome Sega games, and so the game obviously works as a game within a game, but it's also like, here's some extra value, and like you can play VF5, Virtua Fighter 5, in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Virtua Fighter 5 is worth your time in 2020. You know, not to mention Yakuza Like a Dragon is a blast too. All right, let's do some killing. Look at that, everybody's got handy dandy. My full zoom right there. Explosive barrels and boxes. That's great. Just do this. Why not? Oh, this guy. Let's take him out. But they'll hear me, right? It's hard to reconcile that this is on. Oh my goodness. Oh, that this is on a Nintendo machine. It's weird. Noises and non-lethal shots can help the enemy triangulate your location, suspected threat. If this happens, look at this. I love this. It's like a mission book. It's so cool. It'll result in full triangulation, guaranteed threat before the suspected threats appear on the radar as a triangle, whereas a ghost image will appear in the environment. Okay. All right. Well, let's get this mother right here. Goodbye, Nazi. Oh, he's still there. What? Uh-oh. Did I get him? I did. I got him. Okay. Whoa! That's cool. This is like, what was that? Enemy at the gate? Or enemy at the gates? Okay, down we go. Could reach out to Retrobit and see what's going on with the Sega Saturn Pro controllers. They were the form factor of a Sega Saturn Model 2 with analog triggers and thumbsticks. For your Saturn, Sam I Am 111. Or for Polymega. Uh-oh, they're finding me. This is cool, man. Oh, there's a guy. Where's the guy? Where is he? There he is. Uh-oh. Oh, my lord. Oh, in the mouth! What? Oh, my goodness. I hope you're not eating. I'm playing as Jude Law. I am, yeah. Oh, my God. I guess this is about to, you know, they're showing you the horrors of war. Oh, where's this guy? This guy. Wow. This guy is badass. Well, I guess that's me. I'm badass. I'm a famous Nazi killer right here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, they discovered where I am. Okay, so run. So how do I have to shoot them? Okay, run. Crazy. Okay. So I should have been a lot more stealthy than this. Wow. This is pretty damn good, man. I dig that it's third person. Does it go into first person too if you want it? John, brother, I would do like 5 games a year if I tried to 100% everything. I play for as long as I need to, and you know I can when I know what I want to say and how I'm going to say it. That's when I'm ready to go. But I play a lot of games, and I play for a very long time. That's the job. That was the idea, the dream that I had many years ago. Oh, that's so cool. It's very Uncharted-like. Where's this guy? I'm Rambo in this game. Holy moly. Or I'm Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards. There's one more dude there, is there? Yeah, he's back there. Oh, the truck just showed up. Let's see here. Oh! Well, that is cool. Or Arnold from Commando. Or Chuck Norris. Vicbo. Multiplayer in this game is awesome. Sniping through the narrow streets of Italy. This is really cool. I can tell you how many times I've watched Ed Harris's What is Violence press conference for A History of Violence. Ooh, that movie was heavy. Very good film. Very heavy, though. Got us a UPS ship notification and thought it was the Polymega, then got the, February now email. Was so looking forward to dipping back into my Japanese PS1 games. Yeah, I just saw the information that they've been dealing with some retailer snafus and some manufacturing issues and things. They got a lot on their plate at Polymega for sure. How do I switch the... Ouch. No, I don't want that. How do I switch to the other shoulder? There it is. Okay. Uh-oh. So I need health packs then. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. Search corpse. There we go.
Think I've grabbed all I can.
Hello, Lady Lover 0070. Oh, I'm dead. I was reading the chat. When are we getting a new version of EP on TV? Blackthorn. Miss it. I have nothing to say at this point. Multiplayer in this game is awesome. That was from TCF. Do you rotate genre to keep from getting fatigue in one? I am reactive to kind of what comes in generally until the end of the year when it's just like a maelstrom of like everything coming out at the same time. So I do bounce around a little bit. Like the next game that I play is going to be Sackboy. That starts tonight. I played a little bit on the stream the other day, but I definitely need some more time in that game. And then after that, I'll be playing some Demon Souls. And then I've got a VR thing this week. So that's kind of what I've been doing with Vic's Basement, is to try to play for a bunch of hours come back with some thoughts. Oh, jeez. I am running out of bullets. SMG is trash. Use the sniper for most of the time. It's a killing machine. Thank you, John Brother. Okay. Still getting... this is, like, truthfully the first... I may have, like, played one for, like, an hour before, but this is, like, the first real Sniper Elite experience that I'm having, so far, impressed. This guy's coming.
That's all.
Killing machine. Oh, what? He's still alive. A heart shot. Oh, look at that, though. What a weird way to go. His hands are holding him up. I'm so sorry. Rigor mortis has already set in. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to be stealthy, I know. I know. Kind of failing at that. I'm very impressed at how this looks and runs on the Switch, though. So far. It will be refreshing to not have to put that qualifier out there. You know, if we all, if we get what Nintendo might be preparing for us, right? I think we're all in that same boat. Let's see Nintendo exist in a world without qualifying. Because honestly, the Switch has for the last few years, but we're in a new space at this point, and it's shocking how good looking the PS5 and Series X stuff can get. Like Miles running in 60 frames a second is just breathtaking. And Assassin's Creed 4K 60 frames a second, again, just stunning. And I don't even think that I haven't tried Control streaming, but I don't even think the machine has got the bandwidth to deal with streaming at those resolutions. I'm going to be figuring out how to stream, speaking of streaming, how to stream the stream of some Stadia stuff, because they've just loaded me up with a bunch of codes, and I really want to sort of compare and contrast to the launch of some of these titles. Uh-oh, they're totally calling me in. On Stadia. So that's in the queue too. Okay. Oh no! I fell. Thought I was falling off a cliff. Oh, they're all looking for me. This is cool. It's kind of a wide open map, eh? So they have no idea where I am right now. So how does the AI work in these games? Do they... I do play games on the Oculus Quest 2. I've got something in the queue for this week on the Quest 2, actually. That's from Rocky Y? Or Rocky... Is it Y or a V? Rocky Y. Panic Button's really talented, eh, TCF? The Switch is amazing for that, right? Like you're on a... I mean, we're not on planes anymore, but on a plane and you're playing Witcher 3 and you're like, how is this happening? Or that incredible Dragon Quest 11S port on Switch. Just breathtaking. Beautiful game. Chris Yates playing some Animal Crossing. My kid bugs me because I haven't been playing that at all because I've been all over the sort of new releases. But she checks in on her island all the time, and she's like, "Dad, your hair's gonna be super messy. You got to play the game." I got an email from Nintendo. It's like, "We miss you on your island." I want to play it, but I know when I boot that up, I'm like picking fruit and making money, and I'm in it for hours. And I have to be strong. I've got to play the other things that I need to talk about. Okay, so I got to go get these yellow Nazis. Let's go get them. Shh, I'm coming for you. Where are you? Where are you? I should get into, oh, what's this? Some goodies? Oh, yes, okay. Oh, I like when you, you reload or you pick up the ammo you need and you don't have to press a damn button. Like, who wants to press a button for ammo? Ever. Or loot. Just walk over it. Like, the take all button? That needs to be obliterated. Yes, we're going to take it all. Okay, get up there. Did they see me? No, not yet. Oh. Are they coming? They know where I am. My cover is blown. Damn it. Okay. This is great, man. It's intense. I mean, I'm playing it poorly, I get it. But I also know what's happening. This is really cool. There is like a real polish to the world building and everything. Like it's running smoothly. I think this is a really kind of rock solid 30 and feels good. They're looking for me. Let's bring back just walking over items to pick them up. Yes? Right? We ain't got no time to press a button. Of course we want it all. Take all? Take off, eh? Yeah, we want it all. Rebellion yet again doing their game justice. Yes. Super cool developer. Alright, here we go. Where's that scumbag? I like shooting Nazis, guys. It's really fun. Never cease to be fun. Oh, this guy is going down. Goodbye. With the sound of the plane flying overhead, they have no idea where that came from. Okay. This little yellow dot, this guy's going down. Ooh, no. Damn it. I didn't want to do that. Did I get him? No. Did I get him? Did he run at the grenade? No, he didn't. Okay. Where is he? No. No. Oh, I pressing the wrong buttons. Okay. Can I eat the oranges for health? Oh, this guy's dead. Got you. Oh no! Oh. Okay. I'm gonna play more of this because I'm having a very good time. But I'm gonna wrap it up at about an hour and a half today. So that's gonna be that for the Let's Play and chat portion of the program. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Vic's Basement Live. So make sure that you come back for that. And this was cool. This comes out tomorrow for Nintendo Switch. It looks like a pretty fun pickup for anybody that's looking for something quite different on Nintendo. But I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new Vic's Basement Live. We'll be looking at the new Sackboy game for PlayStation 5 and I'll have a new Rundown Lite for you, and we will play something else. We will stream something else and talk about the news of the day with the Rundown again tomorrow. But had a blast today, and thank you all for joining me, and special shout out to everybody that's new to the channel that's just found this stream and just wanted to see what this is all about. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Thank you, of course, for any new subscribers or new EPN members. Thank you for super chats. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until we see you again, play forever.